In the previous tutorial, you have seen how to write test cases for functions, and in this video, you will learn how to write test cases for a data frame. I will make a new Python file here. I will right click on new, and then click on this Python file, and I will name this file as math underscore operations. I'm going to read a CSV file which is in this folder data, and the file name is sample.csv. I will import pandas as pd, and then I have to first install this pandas. Install package pandas. I will read a CSV file and save it in variable df. From pd, I will call method read underscore csv, and inside this I will pass the CSV file name which is stored in this directory data. I will write here data, and inside this I will give the CSV file name which is sample underscore csv, and then let's look at the CSV file. Print df.head, and let me run this. I will click and run math operations. In the output you can see we got the data frame here, and this is about stock price. We have open, high, low and close. Now we will write one function, and then we will test this function, or we will write test case for this function. So this function will take our high and low value. This will subtract low from high and give us a range. I will name this function as define calculate underscore range, and then this will take data frame as a parameter, and then this will return data frame, a new column range. This will be a new column, and then data frame based on high minus data frame low, and then this will return a data frame. So this function will calculate a new column range, and this is based on subtracting low from high value. And now if I print this function, print calculate range on our data frame df. So let's see what we get. I will run this math operations. Data frame object cannot be interpreted as an integer. So what is wrong here? We have this calculate range data frame. Okay, I have to write here quotes. Sorry for the mistake, and I will run this again. And now in the output you should see a new column. So you see we got a new column range, and we have this value based on this high minus low value. Now we want to write a test case for this function calculate range. So every time a user is calling this function, the user should get correct value. Now let's create a new Python file. I will click on this new and then Python file, and we will name this Python file. So for test cases, your file should start with test. I will write here test underscore math underscore operations. Now first I will import calculate function from this math operation.py file, and before that I will import unit test, and now from math operations import calculate range. So this is the function calculate range that we have defined here. Now we will write test case to test this function calculate underscore range, And first we will import pandas as pd. We will need this, import pandas as pd, and then let's define our function. Define assert data frame equality. Now this will check whether the number of columns are matching with the input data. So we will have one output and expected. So whatever output we are getting should match our expected output. So if we are saying that our expectation is we should have 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now if you are getting a data frame who is having 5 column and our expectation is also 5, then our test case will pass. And if the output data frame has only 4 columns but our expectation is that the output data frame should have 5 columns, so in that case the test case will fail. And for that we are writing this function assert data frame equality, and this will take 2 parameter, data frame underscore output and then data frame underscore expected. And then this will, from pandas we will call the method testing, and from testing we will call assert frame equal, and then we will pass this df output and df expected. So this will check whether the 2 data frames are equal or not. Then we will write a test case for this calculate range function. I will write here define test underscore calculate underscore range, and now we will define the input data, what input data we will pass. I will write here input underscore data, and this we will pass as a dictionary. We will have keys and values. Now what we will have in input data, so in our original data frame we are having these 4 columns, so we have to pass these 4 columns. This is what we will get in the expected. So let's pass these 4 columns here. So first is open, and then we will define a list of values it can take. First value, let's say 0.5363 and then 53. Next it will take 0.552352. The second column is high. I will write this high. This will also take a list of values 0.553633, and then the second value 0.753566. Third column is low, and this will also take a list of values 0.3636443, and then 0.636446, and the last one is close, and this will also take a list of values 0.35352 and then 0.2525353. So these are the input values that we will pass, and then we will create a data frame out of this input data. I will write df underscore input and then pd pandas data frame and then input underscore data. So we are creating a dictionary here, and out of this dictionary then we will create our data frame, and this will be our input data frame. Now we will define what we are expecting. So when we will pass these 4 columns, we are expecting a new column range that will be based on this high minus low. So let's define our expected output here. So I will simply copy this and then I'll paste it here. Instead of input, I will name this as expected underscore output, and for this value will remain same, this will also remain same, this will also remain same. And now we will create a new column. So new column, that is range, which we will get as our expected output. And now this range is based on, if you look here, this is based on high minus low. So if you subtract this high 0.55363 minus this 0.3643, so you should get 0.18999, and when you subtract 0.753566 minus 0.636446, you should get 0.1171. so this is what we should get, and we will write the expected output here, 0.18999. This will be this high minus low, and then this high minus low, we should get 0.1171. and I will also write a comment here, high minus low, and then we will create a data frame out of this. I will name it as df underscore expected, and then pd dot data frame. This will take expected output, and this will create a data frame for us. Now let's call this function, call function, and we will save this in df underscore output, and let's call this calculate range function and pass our df input. And now we will assert, so I will call this assert df equality df underscore output is equal to df output, and then df underscore expected is equal to df underscore expected. That we have these are the parameters that we are expecting, df output and df expected. Now let's run our test case. If this value is not correct, then we will get an error. I will come here and then I will run PyTest test math operation, and then I will just remove this dot and backslash, and let's run. You see it is collecting one item, and now this test is failed. It says data frame column name range are different. Let's see. Now one of the reason could be because the values may not be correct, and if you scroll this up, you see that at positional index 1 first different 0.1172 is not equal to 0.1171. That means this expected value I have not written it correctly. This is incorrect. So if you write the expected output as incorrect, you will face this error. The answer should be 0.11712. Now I will write this as 2. Let me run this test again. I will just run this again, and let's see what we will get now. And this test passed. This test has passed now. So when you are giving your expected output, this new column that we are calculating, the value should be correct. That means the difference between high and low, high minus low, should be equal. Even if you are missing one digit, you will get an error. Let's say if I remove this 9 from here, and if I run this test case again, I will get error again. You see that the error we are getting, and if I scroll up, you see first difference is not equal to 0.1899, so I have to write one more 9 here. And if I run this test case again, I should not get an error. This test has passed. This is how you can test your data frame as well. So first you have to check whether the two data frame that you are expecting, your output and your expectations, are correct, and then you have to write your test case of function for your input data and then the expected one, and the expected output should have the expected value correctly. So if your values are not correct, you might get an error. This is how you can write a test case for a data frame. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.